box. And to keep the quality of the sound functional during the meeting, please mute yourself when you are not sharing. And of course, please activate your camera during this session. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon from Indonesia. Selamat siang semuanya. Ladies and gentlemen, to our highly respected Head of Educational Psychology Program, Dr. Tina Hayati Dahlan, MPD Psycholog. And at the same time, she is going to be our today's lecturer. And warmest greeting to all of the participants, my Indonesian and across countries fellows. And welcome to the second day of International Virtual Course 2021. This topic, Designing Token Economy System to Improve Child Behavior. I am Erna Hadianti, the master ceremony for today's event. Okay, for warming up today's lecture, we are going to see the profile video of School of Postgraduate Studies Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia profile. And to the committee, would you please share the video? Sister Lulu?
The School of Postgraduate Studies of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, or abbreviated as SPS-UPI, was established in 1968. As stated in UPI's book document, we have stepped for half a century, setengah abad kami melangkah, in 1954 until 2004. It was initially named the Postdoctoral Education Institution, or LPPD, which was later changed to the School of Postgraduate Studies, abbreviated as SPS, with Director's Degree number 6044/J33/KLO302/2006 on July 10, 2006. Since its establishment, SPS-UPI had experienced very rapid development in the number of study programs, facilities, supporting facilities, and learning activities. SPS-UPI consists of 40 study programs with 23 master programs and 17 doctoral programs, with a total of 3,236 students consisting of 2,150 master students and 1,086 doctoral students. SPS-UPI has a vision of gaining international recognition in the implementations of postgraduate studies in the fields of education, scientific discipline educations, and professional educations at the Asian level by 2025. As an operational guide to realizing the visions of SPS-UPI, 7 missions have been set. First, organizing master's education. Second, organizing doctoral education. Third, organizing professional education. Fourth, conducting quality and productive research that was oriented to scientific publications. Fifth, conducting research-based community service. Sixth, expanding networks with national and international scientific communities. 7. Organizing an international standard academic management system that supports the achievement of the three Dharma, three main responsibility of higher education. In carrying out its organizational activities, SPS-UPI is led by a director and 2 deputy directors, the Deputy Director for Academic and Student Affairs and the Deputy Director for Resource, Finance and General Affairs. Then, to optimize services to students, there are a number of education personnel who are gathered in the organizational structure of work procedures, or SOTK, which consists of the section head of the Academic and Student Affairs and the section head of the General Administrations and Resources. In carrying out the main task of learning, academic academic services and student administrations are centered entirely in the SPS UP building. The SPS UP building has a building area of 8,316 meters square. Learning activities, academic services, and student administrations are facilitated by a number of rooms, which are lecture rooms, doctor by research rooms, reading rooms, student spaces, meeting rooms, academic section room, finance section room, general and equipment section room, archive rooms, and other supporting units rooms. In addition, to accommodate the distribution of interest, talents, and potentials, and also various activities that support student learning outcomes, SPS UP is also equipped with facilities such as seminar rooms, auditoriums, smart classes, studio rooms, and computer laboratories according to the needs of the characteristic of the study program. In addition, there are also polyclinic, mosque, sports facilities, museum, and parking lots, all of which are intended for the benefit of students and the entire university community. The School of Postgraduate Studies has produced 1,490 articles that have been published in various Sinta 1 until 3 accredited journals and reputable international journals, Scopus Index, Web of Science, and others as a form of acceptance of graduates in their scientific environment. The number of alumni of SPS UP is 10,958 people, consisting of 9,187 master's program graduates and 1,771 doctoral program graduates spread throughout the Republic of Indonesia and abroad. The alumni, according to their respective professions, work in government agencies, private institutions or companies, or even independent entrepreneurs.
So I was recommended you to study in Indonesia, study in Indonesia, especially in UP, which I got very good experience, which I got very good knowledge from my amazing teachers and from the lawyer staffs, which helping us for every single thing. So I wanted to recommend you UP because you can take very good knowledge, you can take very good experience, especially in SPS, Sekolah Pasca Sarjana. So the teachers have a very good knowledge, especially in English, and you can do it in Bahasa also if you want. Thank you so much for this amazing interview and for those teachers who are, I got amazing education and knowledge from them, and I wish them all the best, and I wish to those students who wanna take the experience or who wanna take good memories as we are. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Welcome to School of Postgraduate Studies Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia.
This is a glimpse of the School of Postgraduate Studies of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. It is hopeful, with its increasing age, This institution will further strengthen its identity as a leading and outstanding education university by remaining consistent with its motto, which is to be a religious, scientific, and educational campus.
Okay, that's the profile of School of Postgraduate Studies University of Indonesia. So everyone from across country, we welcome you to join our campus. Okay, well, before going to the main agenda, we would like to listen to some participants, some participants' impressions. Probably 2 or 3 participants would share what you've learned from the first meeting, the first lecturing, I meant. If you don't want 1, 2, or 3 participants, we please you. Okay, anybody? So we have here, wait, let's see. We have Hindam, we have Lamin Mani, or Brother Muazu Abajabir. Would you please to share what's your impression or what you've learned from the first lecturing? Or from student of educational psychology, probably 1 or 2 participants. Just share what you've got from the first lecturing. Or you may write it down on the chat box, if you don't mind. No one? Okay, that's okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the main agenda of today's event. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our speaker today's lecture, Dr. Tina Hayati Dahlan, MPD Psycholog. Hi, Ibu. Ibu, could you hear me?
Hi, Erna. Can you see me?
Yeah,
Just like chameleon or something like that.
Okay, Ibu, before we go further, allow me to read a short profile of yours.
Okay,
Dr. Tina Hayati Dahlan, MPD Psycholog, is Head of Educational Psychology Program since 2011 until now. And she is also a lecturer in psychology program and educational psychology program at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And her expertise and interest areas are in developmental psychology, family psychology and education, counseling, psychotherapy, and mindfulness-based interventions and subjective well-being. I think that's why most of her researches and scientific publication national and international journals are dominated by these issues. And some of her recent researches are focused on the predictor factors of primary and middle school student well-being and engagement in learning from home, and also mindfulness-based conflict resolution designed to improve the quality and satisfaction of parent and adolescent relationships. And here are some of her recent scientific publications. The first one, Academic Stress as a Mediator of the Contribution of Academic Self-Concept to Student Involvement in Online Lectures. And the second one, Christian-based Positive Discipline Program in Unchanged Mindful Parenting Skill of Mothers. And the third one, Teachers' Perspective on Violence Among Children, and many more. I'm sorry because I couldn't read all of them this time, but okay. mostly we know that she is a very productive researcher. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Dr. Tina to present us the topic for today's lecture. For Dr. Tina, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Erna. Okay, good afternoon here and good morning there. Okay, I hope all of you can understand my Sundanese English. Okay, let me share the presentation or slides. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Tina Dahlan. It's great pleasure to have you in today's lecture. And then, who is one of you or each of you have heard about behavior modification? Have you ever heard about behavior modification? No one?
Yes, I did.
Who is it? Erna, can you help me?
Sarah, I guess, Bu.
Pardon?
Sarah?
I'm sorry, Miss. Yes,
Mhm.
I did. I heard about behavioral modification.
Mhm. Mhm.
I know about that.
Yeah, could you tell me about that?
It's about we modify our behavior to become our desired behavior. Like if I want to change my eating habit, I want to do like some changing in my behavior and modify with it, like making a list of my changing, and then after I changing, I'm making my list, my own list, and then I am sorry, I wait a minute, and then
It's
I
okay.
am making reward for myself after I really did it well. That's it. That's all I know about behavioral modification.
Okay. I would like to hear from foreign participants, Erna. Oh, we have Faisal Abu Bakar. Yes, Mr. Faisal Abu Bakar. Have you heard about behavior modification? And could you tell us? Dr. Faisal? We cannot hear you. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, good afternoon here.
Yeah, it's morning here.
Yeah.
So good afternoon to all the others too in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I've heard of behavioral modification, and my understanding of it in a nutshell is that when you have a pattern or a way of life or a set of behaviors which are not desiring to you, and you want to make them better or change them to a much more better way, your mode of transformation of those behaviors is what we refer to as behavioral modification.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, Dr. Faisal and Sarah as well. Okay, now today's lecture, I will explain, or we are learning about the token economies, one of the most popular and most frequencies of behavior modification that we can use at school. Okay. So today's lecture will be designing token economy system to improve children behavior. But we also can use the token economy for adolescents as well, not only the early childhood education, but also in higher education as well. And then I would like to ask you, what is behavior? I will share you the Mentimeter. Hold on. Actually, I should help my students, right? To share the link. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, here is the link. Can't you see the question there? Can you see the question there? Can you?
Yes, Ibu, we can.
Yeah, okay. Okay, please write down. What is behavior? We have one answer. Only one? Another one. Behavior is our daily action, activities or routine, our reaction to something, repetitive action, what we do every day, reflection of one's personality, and then the way in which one acts or conducts oneself, especially toward others, what we do in daily life, and then behavior is one conducts, acts to ourselves or others. And behavior is our daily activities, collection of stimuli and responses. Behavior is action from individual. Okay. Still waiting. Certain responses. Are there another ones? Only 13? 14, yeah. Behavior refers to all the activity of human, either cognitive or psychomotor or affective. Response to stimulus. Another one? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let's continue to my presentation. Okay. I will continue to another slide. And then Milterberger stated that behavior is what people do and say, has one or more dimensions that can be measured, can be observed, described, and recorded by others, and is what, sorry, it's the second one, duplicated, it is duplicated, sorry. It is lawful, and then it may be overt and covert. Let me see another one, the Mentimeter. Could you please click on the Mentimeter for the second one? Sorry. Could you? It has another question. Does it show up?
Yes,
Still
Ibu.
previous question? The same one?
No, this is the second question.
Okay. Okay, please write down about, sorry, I will check. Can't you write down the overt behaviors? Can you see this question on the Mentimeter? Oh, okay. Eat, walk, sleep. And then hit, kick. So can you write down the overt behaviors? And then I will
Sorry,
explain.
Ibu.
Yes?
I think some participants couldn't see the second question. So, okay, if they write it down on the chat box.
It is okay.
So, Sister Hilda and Brother Faisal, you can write it down on the chat box. Probably.
Yes, please. Yeah, yes, please. Dancing, talk, study, see, drink, jump, smile. Another ones, please. Okay, Hilda, thank you. Another ones? Another responses, please. Okay. Writing, speaking, a movement, You can give 3 responses, each of you. Watch, playing handphone, yeah. Maybe yell or hit, and fight maybe, or swim, and etc. Okay, thank you everyone. Sorry, I will check chat first. Oh, Dr. Faisal answer about the second question. Behaviors that are felt directly, like smiling, emotional reaction like anger. Okay, correct. Okay, I will continue my presentation. And then here are some of our visible behaviors. You know, you can see what are they doing for the first picture. Walking.
Holding hands.
Holding hands, yeah, each other. And then the second picture.
Drawing.
Writing. Yeah.
Drawing.
Or drawing. Yeah. And then the third one.
Raise hand.
Yes, raise hand. And fourth picture.
Interacting.
Yes, interacting. Yeah, with friends. So overt behaviors can be observed and recorded by an individual there, or can be measured. So in behavior modification, we will be focusing on overt behavior, not cover behaviors, because cover behavior cannot be observed by others. We can feel, we can think, but all of them cannot be observed by others. So in behavior modification, we'll be focusing on overt behaviors. Because in behavior modification, we will put the data, all the data, by writing the dimension of the behaviors, such as duration, frequency, or intensity of force. So if the behaviors have duration, frequency, and intensity or force, we can easily write down all of the data. And then we can measure the maybe increasing or decreasing of the behavior. And then we can measure the effectiveness of our program. So the dimension of behavior could have a duration, the length of time. Yeah, for example, Agung studied for 1 hour. So 1 hour is a duration. So we can put the data by writing 1 hour. It's about the duration. And about the frequency, it is the number of instances that occur in a given period of time. For example, Erna solved 5 math problems in 30 minutes. So we can write down the data on our working sheet with 5, and then on the table title, we can write down that the math problem solving in 30 minutes. So in the table, we just write down only the 5 or 4 or 1. It depends on the number of math problems that the students solve. And about the intensity or force, it is the physical effort of energy involved in emitting the behavior. For example, Ayu has a strong grip shaking hands. But actually, about the intensity or force for the social research, it is too hard for us to write down or to measure about the intensity or force. For example, we cannot easily write down about how the intensity of the, what is it? Ayu, what is it called? The tekanan? The force, yeah, right?
Yes.
Tekanan menulis?
I think we can use the force.
The force, right? The force of the students to write down on the book. Yeah, it is very hard. So maybe we can focus about the duration and frequency as well. And then let's begin to behavior modification. So behavior modification is the field of psychology concerned with analyzing and modifying human behavior. So it has analyzing and it has modifying also. Regarding analyzing, we will identify the functional relationship between environmental events and a particular behavior to understand the reason for behavior or to determine why a person behaved as he or she did. So as a behavior modifier, we should ensure that behavior increase by behavior modification, not by other events. So we should analyze, we should measure the data, we should record the data, so we can ensure that the behavior change, increase or decrease because of the behavior modification, not other events. And regarding the modifying, we will develop and implement the procedure to help people change their behavior. It involves altering environment events as to influence behavior. So in modifying, we will choose the technique and program, and we will create the procedure, an effective procedure, and then we will conduct and do all the steps of the modification behavior, behavior modification program. So if we create the behavior modification, we should start by recording or observing the target behavior, and then we determine the target behavior, and then we write down the data, and after that we will create the behavior modification program. And then behavior modification involves the systematic application of learning principles and techniques to assess and improve individuals' covert and overt behaviors in order to enhance their daily functioning. So we can see this definition that behavior modification is the systematic application of learning principles and techniques. So if you have experience that you can consider it is behavior modification, but what you did was not systematic, so it is not behavior modification. For example, if we increase, our purpose is to increase our reading behavior, and then we talk to ourselves that, okay, I will read article 5 pages each day, and then after that I will watch Korean drama or watching TV or searching, Googling and some, etc. And then the day after, I'll change the purpose. I change the purpose. For example, sorry. Yeah, for example, I change the reinforcement. Maybe I will drink coffee or going to cafe, and then I change the target behavior as well. So it is not considered as behavior modification. So make sure that if you you decide to increase or decrease the behavior, make sure it is created in systematic way. So each of you or the participant, maybe one or two of you can tell me about your experience considered as behavior modification. Maybe we have Hassan here. Hassan, do you have experience in applying behavior modification in your daily life?
Dr. Tina, yes, this is Teng. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would like to ask this behavioral modification. They say I take away his toy, favorite toy. Then I say, okay, if you behave properly, I will give you back your favorite toy. Is that considered behavioral modification? So that make him change his behavior. Like, for example, maybe he used to shout in the classroom. So in order to modify his behavior, so I use this method. Is it considered behavioral modification? Can I use that?
Sorry, is it Tang? Is it Tang?
Yeah, Tang, yes.
Ah, sir. Okay. Okay, Tang. If you conduct that kind of program consistently, and then the reinforcement you decide is the precise reinforcer, so it is considered as behavior modification.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to know, how did you conduct this kind of program? You consistent give the reinforcer by, maybe intermittent or continuous or something like that?
Okay, this one, my previous experience working with young children, I impose that when I observe, for example, particular child A, if I observe he actually when I lecture, when I start my lessons in the class, he always make noise in the class, so that I bargain with him. I talk with him. I say, okay, if you behave properly, then I will allow you to play with this toy, because I know that he like certain particular toy. So can I what is that if he change his behavior, maybe for example, like he say, okay, I will sit down and listen to you, then I will give the toy to him. So is that appropriate to do that?
Yeah, but you know that every time they act badly, you give the toy?
Not really. It depends on the situation. But this one happens not frequently, but maybe once a while.
Once a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it can be considered as behavior modification if you did the winning. You decrease the using of the reinforcer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Gradually.
All right. Okay. So this method can be used. Consider appropriate?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
But you know that the first consideration that you should consider the best reinforcer, the effective reinforcer for the kids. So I think you consider first that the toys is the best or an effective reinforcer for them, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Another question, maybe?
Yes, please.
Okay, please. Dr. Faisal.
I wanted to find out if, for instance, when a child comes back from school and would like to always be joining the other children outside to go and play, and possibly or probably the time he returns from school and wants to go out and play, it will soon get late, and you don't want him to be outside late. So you devise a way, for instance, when you come home and you undress yourself, the first thing you have to do is to attend to your homework. By the time he finishes homework, it is late and he doesn't need to go out and will have to remain indoors. So you change the time of he doing the homework in the evening to immediately returning from school. Would such a behavior be considered a modification of a behavior?
Yeah, I don't think so, Dr. Faisal, because behavior modification should consider the target behavior and the time and the reinforcer and how the reinforcer procedure provided to the children. So before we conducting something to our children, we consider the previous I mentioned, Dr. Faisal.
Yes.
So did you consider for the first time and then you talk to your children about this?
Yeah, when that system was introduced, it looked as if now going out to play after school has indeed reduced, because usually, let's say you return at around 4 p.m. from school, and then 4 to 6, which is almost Maghrib, is a very short time. And so when they return from school and then they undress themselves, maybe there's some snack or something to take in, and then do their homework, it will be Maghrib. So it will be prayer time. So playing around that time has now automatically been taken away. After Maghrib, they are indoors. Nobody goes out. So the playing between school closing time around 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is taken away. Yeah.
So they got the playing time before Maghrib, right?
Yeah.
And then
So now they don't.
Yes.
They don't play at all. Now they don't play at all between closing time of school to Maghrib. They don't get the opportunity to go and play because they concentrate on the assignment, and by the time they finish the assignment, it's almost Maghrib.
But how about the reinforcer they get? The reinforcer, the reward they got.
The reward they get is that when their time that they use for Maghrib, they could use that time for other interaction with the family at home, or could even have some form of entertainment to watch. Educative entertainment to watch. Yes, as a result. So it's replaced with something which is more educative also. During the time of their former time of their homework.
So do you think it is effective for the children, the reinforcer?
Yes, it's effective because the time they're using for their homework now has now been used as an added time of learning.
Okay. I think you may develop this kind of program into systematically behavior modification program, Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, you can write down the baseline. Maybe the target behavior is completing the assignment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, completing the assignment is the target behavior, and then the reinforcers could be playing with family, watching TV, etc. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I mean, playing with the iPad where they can learn some programs. Yeah.
Yeah, you can write down the target behavior is the completing the assignment, and the reinforcers you can write down the playing iPad or something like that, and then you can determine the time as well. Yeah, the time of the assignment and the time or the duration of assignment completion, and then the time of playing iPad.
Okay.
And then you can determine about the winning session, how to decrease the duration of playing iPad.
Okay.
So you can do the termination if the children complete the assignment without hoping the reward.
Okay.
Then you will have the behavior modification program, Doctor.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Welcome. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now another experience, please. Maybe from the students of educational psychology. Or another participant from Nigeria or Kenya. Hassan, would you like something to talk? Mr. Hassan?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Although I am later entered the class, still I don't know the train was going on.
Oh, okay. It is okay. Maybe another participant, Erna.
My connection is so bad, but I am trying.
Yeah, it is okay. Thank you for visiting us here, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thank you. Okay, Erna, another one.
What about Brother Lamin or Brother Muazu Abajabi, probably? Please. or probably my friends from educational psychology, if you have any question to Ibu or any experience.
Yes.
Can I have a question? I want to ask a question, Ibu.
Yes, please.
Yes, so actually it is a very interesting topic because it's all related about behavior, and most of probably young student like me, we are still struggling in building a good behavior like that. So my question is, in some sources, I found that there are certain behavior that we need to reinforce using external stimuli or external reward, while there are others need to be built from our intrinsic motivation. Then my question regarding to this material is, which behavior need to be built using external motivation or behavior modification, which behavior need to be built using an individual intrinsic motivation? Yes.
So behavior modification actually is created to increase or decrease behavior by providing external stimuli for the person. So the environment will provide the stimuli to someone, to individual or persons or groups in the purpose of getting the improving or enhancing or decreasing the sum of the behaviors. And then after that, the long-term target is to build the behavior without having the external stimuli. So they will have or they will do the behavior, they will show the behavior because of the intrinsic motivation. That's the purpose of the behavior modification. That's why the behavior modification should create systematically, because the long-term purpose is to get the behavior building without the external stimuli or external reward.
So we can conclude that behavior modification is the strategy for the early stage in building behavior. Then we do it in the first stage. Then after that we can leave it with our intrinsic motivation. Okay.
Not only the early stage, maybe the whole stage is from the external stimuli, and then after that the intrinsic motivation or natural reinforcement.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, let's continue with another slide. Okay, the characteristic of behavior modification, it is focused on, yes, it is focused on behavior. As I mentioned before, focus on overt behavior. So it is designed to change behavior, decrease or increase, not personal characteristic or trait or personality. Okay, it is focused on behavior because the behavior can be recorded, can be observed, and can be measured. Okay, and then the procedures based on behavior principles. It means that behavior modification is the application of basic principle originally derived from experimental research with laboratory animals from Skinner 1938. Okay, and then the behavior modification involves assessing and modifying the current environmental events that are functionally related to the behavior. Okay, so it is emphasis on current environmental events from the environmental that is created by modifier into natural environment. So I think it is related with Ayu's question, isn't it, Ayu?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Here is target behavior. The target behavior is the behavior to be modified. There are two of them. It is behavior deficits. It means too little desirable target behavior. And then behavioral excess. It is too much undesirable target behavior. Could you mention the example of the target behavior of behavioral deficits? Could you? Yes. Some of you maybe write down on the chat. Could you mention the target behavior of behavioral deficits? The behavior should increase maybe at classroom or at home. Could you mention or write down? The example? Could you mention the example of the behavior that should be increased by behavior modification? I will mention one example. The behavior of assignment completion.
We have some response, Ibu, on chat box.
On the chat? Not yet. I can see this.
Okay, here is Aziati say hours of reading. And I said increase the duration of reading behavior.
Yes.
And also Tuti said regular exercise.
Okay. How about the behavioral excesses? The behavior that should be decreased. Could you mention the example? Okay. I will provide one example. Yelling. Yelling behavior. Another ones, please. Erna, could you help me? Because
here we have Sir Hassan said, if a parent would like their child to learn how to eat with a fork, they eating with a fork is the target behavior. And Ayu said,
I'm sorry. Eating?
Yeah, eating with a fork is the target behavior.
It is behavioral excesses or behavioral deficits?
Deficit, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
And for the behavioral excesses, we have Ayu said screen time duration, and Diti said watching. Aziati said behavioral excessive, hitting friends.
Yes.
Oh, we have some more.
Yes.
Sarah said fighting.
Fighting.
And and Tang said talking loudly. Aziati said again, screen times for young children. Fuzi said telling lies, I think. And Adama said dancing. Oh yeah, that's all.
Dancing? Dancing, it is should be decreased. Okay. Okay. We can write down the target behavior. For example, hitting friends. This is the behavior to be modified. And the purpose of the behavior modification is to decrease the hitting behavior. The target behavior is hitting friends behavior. And the purpose of the behavior modification is to decrease the hitting friends behavior. Okay, and another one, for example, target behavior could be what is it? Task completion, maybe. Task completion, right? Or using fork, right? Eating with fork. Is that right? From Mr. Hassan or?
Yeah, Mr. Hassan.
Yeah. Eating with fork. Is that right? Yeah. And then the purpose of behavior modification is to increase the frequency of using fork in eating time. So any question about this? We have target behavior and we have the purpose of the behavior modification. Is there any question about this? Is it clearly explained?
Good afternoon, Miss Tina.
Yes.
I want to asking that how can we change someone behavior or habits like changing our parents or child behavior if they doesn't want to change their behavior or habits? How to convince them to change their behavior or habits? That's my question.
Okay. The first thing and the fundamental things we should do for for conducting the behavior modification program is the readiness of the person who will be modified. The readiness. If they reject to conduct or to be modified, so we can conduct the behavior modification, Sarah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
It is clearly explained?
Yeah, it's well explained. Thank you so much, Miss.
Okay, you're welcome.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
I did forward some chat, some response to behavioral deficits, and I would have wished you commented a bit on them for me.
Pardon?
I don't know whether you can. I posted a chat, an answer to behavioral deficit, and I wish you could comment briefly on them for me.
I'm sorry, I cannot. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I cannot see the.
I'm so sorry, Mr.
Which
Hassan. Yeah. So Mr. Hassan said, for example, instead of saying Ali will not get out of his seat,
Okay.
appropriate target behavior.
This is Miss Dr. Faisal, right?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. okay.
The notification didn't show up. I'm sorry. The notification
Yeah.
on my chat didn't show up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
The examples of behavior deficits could include remaining silent instead of speaking up for once, right? Attending work sporadically, turning in few class assignments, and lack of sexual arousal to a spouse. Okay. I think you will have 4 behavior modification programs, Doctor. because each behavior here are not the same, right?
Yeah.
It is very different, definitely different, right? Each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I will explain one by one. About remaining silent instead of speaking up for one's right. You mean speaking up for one's right? I mean they talk to another person in appropriate way or something, or inappropriate way or time.
Yes, that is to say, when something is going wrong, affecting you, and you have to speak up. It's your right to speak up that what is going on or what is being meted out to you is not right. It is your right to to speak against that which is not right towards you.
Mm-hmm.
But the person becomes a bit timid and doesn't really speak out. And so always he's at the receiving end of those negative or inhumane actions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for the first example about remaining silent instead of speaking up for one's right, I think it should be it should be applied by, what is it called? The assertive training, not behavior modification, doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second one, attending work sporadically. Yeah, we can apply behavior modification. So the target behavior, I think, is attending behavior, attending work regularly, right?
Yeah.
It is the target behavior. And the purpose is to increase the frequency of attending work behavior. That's the purpose.
Okay.
And then the other example, turning in few class assignments. So I think the target is attending assignment or completing the assignment behavior. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Completing all assignments. And then the purpose of the behavior modification is to increase the frequency of completing class assignments. Mm-hmm. And the other one, I think the effective intervention will be counseling.
Okay.
Or psychotherapy, not behavior
Okay.
modification.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm clear now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. A pleasure. Okay. Can we continue on? Okay. And then here is a question to identify reinforcers. Could you write down the maybe consumable reinforcer? What do you like to eat or drink? Or activity reinforcers? What things do you like to do? Or manipulative reinforcer? What kinds of games do you like? What kinds of things do you like to process? And what social rewards do you like? Yeah, relating to the token economies, you as a teacher or a modifier should identify the reinforcer, the best or the most effective reinforcers for your students. Yeah, you can ask them or you can observe them. Yeah, you can identify the consumable reinforcer and the activity reinforcers, the manipulative reinforcers, and the possessing reinforcers, and then the social rewards reinforcers. You can observe and you can interview the students or the children, and then you can identify the best or the most effective reinforcer for the students or the children. So maybe can you tell me, maybe you can write down in the chat about the maybe one of or two of the reinforcers you have for yourself. Okay, you can write down on the chat maybe. Yeah. Anyone? Erna, can you help me? Because there is no notification on my chat.
Please, the question is not that clear to us, please. Can you kindly...
Okay. Can you identify the most effective reinforcer for yourself? Maybe you can ask yourself, what do I like to eat or drink most? Maybe coffee or juice or lemonade or something like that. Or pizza or nasi for Indonesian. Yeah, nasi goreng. And then you can ask yourself by what things do I like to do most? Or maybe sport, swimming, dancing, watching, and then posting maybe, etc. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, very
Here
clear now.
we have
Okay,
some comments, Ibu.
Okay, please.
So Aziati said a good coffee and cake. Then Lulu said shopping. And Mr. Hassan said rice. And you said buy a new book. Mr. Adama said nasi kotak. Is it true?
Nasi kotak?
And then Anita said meatball soup. And Mr. Hayati, coffee, online shopping. Sarah said iced coffee with gula aren. Mr. Hassan Ismail said going mosque. And Aziati said adding minutes of watching Korean drama. Sarah watching Netflix. Agung hang out with friends and drink coffee together. Rahma said shopping. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Erna and everyone. Okay, if you would like to conduct the behavior modification for yourself, then what you mentioned on the chat, what you wrote on the chat will be your reinforcers. Okay, for example, if you would like to increase the reading habit, then you can tell yourself that I will not drink coffee before I read half paragraph maybe, half chapter maybe, or something like that. Or yeah, before reading an article, before reading one chapter of book maybe. Yeah, you can tell yourself by doing like that. Okay, is it clearly enough? Anyone? But the example, Erna, is it clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, Ibu, it's very clear.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, and then now identify the most effective reinforcer for the children or students. Yeah, you can write down on the chat as well. Okay, please. Okay, candy, ice cream, play in the playground, gaming, sweets, football, water play, some toys, right? Exercise. Gaming, new toys, exercise, right? Right. Okay. After collecting all of the reinforcers, you can decide the most effective reinforcer for the children. Okay, let's continue my slides. Now we continue with implementing a token economy. Yeah, the first steps is to identify target behaviors. I will show you the example of my students' research, but now I will explain about the steps of implementing of the token economy. You should identify target behaviors by observing or by interviewing or by by providing the questionnaires maybe for the students or intake interview or something like that. And then you can have a group meeting with other teachers to determine the target behaviors. Maybe we can determine that the target behavior is maybe math problems completion or math problems finish behavior maybe, or the fighting behavior or something like that. And then you should take a baseline of target behaviors. So the team should create or make a checklist of target behaviors. So you can write down, you can record, you can measure a baseline of target behaviors. And then the third step is to select the most appropriate type of token. It could be attractive, lightweight, and portable, durable, easy to handle, and difficult to counterfeit. So token is similar with voucher in supermarket. Yeah, we sometimes got the voucher to to exchange to another what is it called, maybe towel or umbrella or something like that. So token is similar with vouchers. So the students, every time the student do the target behavior, they will get token, and then they will collect tokens to exchange to another stuff or tools. Okay, and then the fourth step is to select and manage the backup reinforcers. The backup reinforcers, that the things that can be exchanged or changed in with a token. Yeah, and then fifth step is identify available help. So the team teachers should have administration staff, or maybe the one who manages the storage of the backup reinforcers, the one who will buy the backup reinforcers, the one who will record of the data, and etc. And the sixth steps is to decide on specific implementation procedures. So we have to create and to make the behavior modification or token economy program in systematic procedure. And then the seventh step is to monitor and train staff and helpers. And then the eighth step is to handle potential problems. So the potential problems may be the students lost the token maybe, or the student give the token to other students maybe, or something like that. And then the ninth step is to evaluate the program, or the whole program. Okay, is there any question before I explain the example of the token economy?
Yeah, we have Mr. Faisal here who raised his hand.
Okay, please.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
I wanted to find out the token. Does it mean in terms of the positive side, that is reward only, or the token could also be some form of denial?
Pardon? Denial?
Yeah, for instance, you deny the person in order to achieve a certain behavior instead of usually rewarding, because there are times when rewarding will really not give the effect. but sometimes the denial could. So would the denial also be taken as a token?
Yeah. Token economy is in term of positive way. The token economy, right? So if the student or children did the negative behavior or undesirable behavior, so they will not get the token. Is that your question?
Yeah,
Doctor?
yes, that's precisely because when you deny the person, you wouldn't have given a token. You would have taken a token. So I wanted to find out whether giving and taking at the same time all constitute the token.
Oh, taken, maybe you mean you taken the token?
Yeah.
They earn? You mean that? Yeah. If the procedure you created has the regular that you will take the token they earn, it can be conducted like that. Okay. But previously, you should mention in the program in the manual, so the client will understand about this.
Okay.
Yeah. All of us, it is prohibited to take the token if we didn't explain to students or children previously.
Yeah, pre-informed. Okay.
Yes, correct. Okay. Another question maybe? Before I explain the example of token economy? No? Okay. But before we started, I have another slide left. Okay. Tokens as condition reinforcer that can be accumulated and exchanged for backup reinforcers. So it can exchange during the time that determined by modifying team. And a behavior modification program in which individuals can earn tokens for specific behaviors and can cash in their tokens for backup reinforcer is called a token economy or a token systems. So as I mentioned, token is similar with voucher. Okay, I will change my slide. Here is another one. Okay, this is the example of practice of token economy in early childhood. Yeah. Can you see the slides, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Target behavior that was chosen by my students is responsible behavior. Okay. So she wrote down the target behavior is responsible behavior. And the purpose of token economy she designed is to increase the responsible behavior in the students of the early childhood students. Okay. And then she wrote down about the behavior examples. Yeah, the behavior examples are the behavior which include or which is considered as responsible behavior. Yeah, and they are orderly behavior during meal times, and then cleaning of the table after eating, and then tidying the locker, and putting game tools, and throwing food waste or use paper cut into the trash, and all of the behavior examples is the measured behavior, the measurable behavior of responsible behavior. Because if we just write the target behavior, responsible behavior, we cannot record or measure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't we? Can't we? Yeah, we cannot record about responsible behavior because it is the abstract concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
The responsible behavior is abstract concept. Okay, so we should determine the behavior examples which can be measured and recorded by us or by the team. Okay, and the basic of the target behavior is the observation result in that school. So my student observe and interview the teacher, observe the class and interview the teacher, and the result show that some of the students, that not clean the table after eating, and then they didn't make up the table, and then they waste newspaper or something everywhere. So she determined that target behavior was responsible behavior, and then she determined about the behavior example just like this. Okay. And then she decided to select the token. As I mentioned, that the token cannot be duplicated, right? Can it be duplicated? And then should be light weighted, okay? And then maybe for the children can be interesting, yeah? You know that this is very colorful here, okay? And I think it is hard to be duplicated, right? To duplicate the star here, okay? She selects the kind of token just like this, okay? And this is the picture of storage of token. So every time the students did the responsible behavior example, they would get the token and put into their own storage, just like this. I think this is the plastic cup, right? Okay. You can also have maybe a jar or something like this. Yeah, a jar, or what others kind of storage would you mention?
A cup, probably.
Pardon?
A cup.
A cup, right? And then
A glass.
a glass, yeah, something like this. And you know that it is display in easy. It is easy to display, right? And then this is the self of the storage here. And then here is a manual for token earned. As I show you, this is the target behavior. As I show you here, it is the same with here. Orderly behavior during meal time, the behavior of cleaning the table, and something like this. And then my student write down the target behavior here. You know, every responsible behavior example has what is it called? Has a token, has a numbers of token. You know that for the A, this is it could be 4 token, and the B behavior 2 tokens, 2 numbers of token, and for C 1 token only, and for D behavior 2 token, and for E behavior it has 3 token. So every time the student eat with good manner, they will earn 4 tokens. They will get 4 tokens. And every time they clean the table after eating, they will get 2 tokens. So every time they tidy the locker, they will get 1 token. Every time they put the toys into the rack or shelf, they will have 2 tokens. And every time they throw trash into the trash bin, they will get the 3 tokens. So I think, is it clear enough for you?
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yes, please.
I think here Agung Alamsyah just raised his hand.
Oh, okay. Okay, Agung.
Please, Agung.
Okay, thank you, Teh Erna. Ibu, hello. I have question
Hello.
for you. It is a basic question, I think, but okay, I will start my video. So,
It's okay.
Okay, Ibu, what if the given reinforcer is not interesting as the children to be involved in modifying the behavior? And I still don't understand how to distinguish a positive and negative reinforcer. Whether a negative reinforcer are the same as a punishment, Ibu, or something like that. I don't know. Thank you, Ibu.
Okay. Okay, Agung. Yeah, you know that maybe negative reinforcement, maybe we can increase the behavior by what is it called? By not providing the reinforcer. Yeah, for example, if you complete your math assignment, then you can play your iPad 1 hour. Okay, so I think it is a positive reinforcement, right? Okay, and then if the students or the children did not complete the assignment, we will not provide the reinforcer that we promised to them. So it is called negative reinforcement. Okay, but the punishment, yeah, it is different with negative reinforcement, because the punishment, we will provide punishment if we want to decrease bad habit, maybe. Okay, for example, if the student hit the friends and then we don't let them play outside, maybe, so it is punishment. Is it well explained, Agu?
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Ibu.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Can we continue? Okay. Okay. Here is manual for token earn. Sorry. Okay. This is the backup reinforcers. The manual for token earn and then the backup reinforcers should be displayed in front of the students, or yeah, maybe at classroom or in living room. Yeah, so everyone that is involved in token economy system will see the backup reinforcer and the manual as well. Okay, and here are the backup reinforcer: sticker, and then plastic cards, and then ruler, tissue, and then notes and eraser. Okay, and here, influencing the effectiveness condition reinforcement. Maybe it is related to Agung's question. Yeah, about the reinforcer. Yeah, we should consider the strength of backup reinforcers, the variety of backup reinforcers, and the number of pairing with a backup reinforcer, loss of value of a condition reinforcer. That's why for the first step, we should identify the kind of the reinforcers that will be the most effective reinforcers for students or children. Okay, Agu? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me continue. This is the menu of backup reinforcer. Okay. For eraser, the student should exchange with 5 or 6 tokens. For example, sorry. And then for the magic book, they should change 11 tokens with magic books. And then they should change 5 tokens for rulers. And then they should change 14 tokens for pencils, or they should change 13 tokens for eraser, or something like that. So this is the menu of backup reinforcers. Okay. And here we should consider and determine the help available. The teachers maybe act as a token agent, and maybe the helpers and teacher assistants help to handle potential problems and records process on the token card. Sorry. Oh, here. This is the data recording that my student use here. For example, Agung has 2 stars or tokens, and Erna has 4 stars and token, and some, yeah, etc. We can show them up. Okay, this is the recapitulation of obtaining tokens they earn here. Maybe yeah, Agung and week 1, how many tokens he earned. Erna for week 2, how many tokens she earned, and then explanation. Okay, this is the card of token economy, and this is the regulation. I think I have the English regulation. Sorry. Here, the regulation is the token card is kept by the teacher, and if the child gets a token in the cup, then the teacher draws a star symbol on the card according to the position in the day and date column, etc. And the regulation also is displayed and can be seen by the students and the teacher as well. So I think it is the explanation about the token economy. But the other picture, yes, here's the proof of the research. Okay. I think I will close my presentation for today. Any question? Erna?
Please, for the audience who would like to give your question to Dr. Tina, you can activate your raise hand feature and you can open your microphone probably, or you can also type your question in the chat box. Please, we still have about 15 minutes. Any questions?
No.
Oh.
No question.
Tuti.
Oh yeah. We have, yeah. Sister Tuti, please.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Ibu.
Yes.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
I one question for you, Ibu. Several times I get a journal about behavior modification, especially the token economic system that is mostly applied to early childhood, maybe, or elementary school or another behavior like challenging behavior. Yeah, even though I am as a teacher in high school, get challenging behavior such as a very passive class or a very noisy class gitu. It's so stress for me gitu ya. It is possible to implement. The question is it possible to implement token economic for classroom management tools maybe? Then I hope the behavior of student is changing.
Yeah. Yes, it can. Yes, it can, Tuti. But I think you should identify the reinforcers that it's not too expensive, right? Because the adolescents property or something like that, I think it has the, the expensive value, right? Yeah, you should consider the reinforcer first. And then you should bargaining with the students about designing the program. And then all of you agreed about the program. Yeah, you can design by yourself and then you present in front of the students and they will give the suggestion for you and you can redesign or revise the program. And after that, all of you should agree about the program. Because the behavior modification or token economy needs the readiness, of the all of the participants. Okay. Have a try, Tuti.
Yeah. Thank you, Ibu. It's very clear, but also challenging for me.
Yeah, very challenging for adolescent, right? Okay, another one maybe.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And I want to ask you one question about related educational psychology, especially what is the significance of the behavioral modification of the child, and what is the disadvantage?
The
modification of the behavioral, the advantage of behavioral change, behavioral modification, and the significant it.
Will you excuse me? It's Adan here, praying time here. Will you excuse me for the moment? Okay. Hold on for a moment. You can speak, Hassan, but I will unmute myself. You can speak, please. Yes, Hassan, you can speak. Yeah, you can speak, but I will unmute myself, okay?
I wanted to ask you about related education psychology field, especially what is the main significance of the behavioral modification of children in this field?
But I will unmute myself. You can speak, please. Yes, Hassan.
Can you hear me? Okay, I wanted to ask you one question related to the field of education psychology, especially our topic relatedly. What is the significance of the behavioral modification of the children, and what is the advantage it's?
Okay, Hassan, but can you wait because in my home it is praying time. So I will unmute myself, okay? Wait, please. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Brother Hassan, for the question. So I will try to answer. The relation of educational psychology and behavior modification is to, one of them is to increase the effectiveness of learning process. Yeah, for instance, maybe in your class we have the annoying or disturbing students, yeah, in your class, so we can provide the behavior modification in your class. For example, maybe you can can you unmute, please? Yeah, maybe you can provide the token economy. For example, target behavior is sitting in the class nicely. Okay, and then every time the students sitting in the class nicely, maybe they will get the token, and then the token will or can exchange into the backup reinforcer. This for the example. Or maybe you can provide another technique. Maybe you can show up the, what is it called, the explanation or announcement, the announcement of the the announcement about the sitting nicely, and then about the completing the assignment. And then you can have the color of green for this side, and then red green for this side. So every time you show the green announcement or the green paper, the student should sitting nicely. Okay, and every time you show the red paper, so the student should complete the assignment. I think it is another example for your, for the learning process. So it is the relation about of the behavior modification and educational psychology. Yeah, to get the increasing or improving of effectiveness of learning process. Is it clear?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can design the behavior modification with team, not only you, with team. You have teacher team, and then all of you design the behavior modification, the target behavior. Yeah, you can start with target behavior. Yeah, target behavior, or you can start with the problem behavior in class, and then you decide the target behavior, and you decide the purpose of the behavior modification, and then you determine the reinforcer for the children, for the students, and then the modifier team who will record, who will administer the backup reinforcer or something like that, who will prepare the backup reinforcer, who will prepare the storage. And then after that, maybe you should consider the, the financial thing to buy the backup reinforcer maybe. And then the last steps will be evaluate the program. Maybe you can revise the design of the behavior modification. Okay. Okay. Another question, Erna? Hasan, is it clear?
Yes, it is very nice, mashallah.
Okay. Okay. Alhamdulillah. We can discuss a little further in WhatsApp group, right? Or maybe by email with me. If you are interested in conducting research about behavior modification, please be free to contact me. Okay. Another question, Erna?
So far, we don't have any questions, but probably for the audience, if you would like to give your questions one more time, please activate your raise hand and you can open the microphone. And also you can type your questions in the chat box. Any questions?
Is there any question? Because I have the last question for you all. Yeah? Can I?
I don't think we have another question, Ibu. So please, if you have a question.
Okay. Okay, I will provide you the Padlet link. Okay. Here is the Padlet. You can check the question there and please answer. Can you see the Padlet? Yeah. Can you write down? Okay. Ambilin.
Okay, I can try it for my children and my students to modify their behavior. Want to implement for increasing my reading habit. Going to implement it for my students. I will apply in class management. Yes, going to implement it for my student. Going to implement it for my student. I will apply in my class management to be more consistent my goals and more strict. Maybe you can add with how will you implement, okay? How will you implement the behavior modification or token economy? To be more consistent on my goals and more strict to rules that I made for changing my behavior. Try to implement for myself to increase the positive activity so that I can be more productive. I will try to implement the token economy in my daily life with 6 years old child. Another question. It's a very interesting thing to apply in behavior modification, especially for students, but I don't have any plans for implementing it because I still have to study this material. Okay. To be more consistent on my goals and more strict to rules that I made for changing my behavior. Okay, another responses, please. Yeah, Tang, you can write down here on chat maybe. Okay, plans for implementing token economy modification for parents' participation in reading activities with children at home, create platform for parents, Identify reinforcers, yes. Identify reading materials, measure on-frequency reading activities. Intermittent reinforcement, yeah, correct, good. Okay. Okay. Erna?
Yeah, Ibu.
Erna, maybe someone will explain verbally?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Just ask.
Anybody? Do you want
Yeah.
to try to explain
Mm-hmm.
what just you write down on the Padlet, please?
Mm-hmm. Please. Yeah, you may explain what is your plan and how.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Raise hand, please.
Sister Tang, probably you may try to explain
Yeah.
what's your plans for your class.
Sorry, Dr. Tia, sorry. I walked away just now to the toilet. Yeah. Actually, I'm not a psychology people, but after attending your class, I find it's very interesting. Of course, like when we're dealing with young children, we need to know children's behavior, and these are very important, especially for classroom management. So I will try to design or implement this in my future classroom. Yeah, I found it's very interesting. Thanks a lot. I learned a lot from you.
Yeah, we can collaborate with Dr. Fanny.
Okay, Dr. Fanny, yes.
Three of us.
Yeah, she is my postgrad supervisor. Yeah. Yes. I actually. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know why I can't access to this pad. I found it's very interesting. You use a lot of new technology, to interact with the participant, which is I find is very interesting.
I learned from my students actually.
Oh, I see. It's very new to me.
Yeah, really.
Itu orang tua kan kena belajar.
Yeah, sama-sama.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we have Dr. Faisal. Yeah, Dr. Faisal.
Please, Mr. Faisal.
Dr. Faisal, will you explain verbally, directly? Oh, this okay. Okay, thank you everyone for your response. Yeah, it's still, it has another responses actually. But Erna, I think we should enclose our today's event. So thank you very much. I'm sorry for my Sudanese English, but I hope it can be understood by all of you. And please feel free to contact me by WhatsApp or maybe by email. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Tina, for giving your valuable insight on designing token economy system to improve child behavior. And Dr. Tina, if you don't mind, I would like to give a very short summary of your presentation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we know that the reinforcement is one of the most effective tools used in applied behavior analysis. Yeah, and of course, a token economy is one of many reinforcement options. A token economy works much as the same way, I think, as the world economy in this context. I mean, an individual earns tokens by completing tasks or displaying desired behaviors, yeah, Bu?
Yeah.
And then the tokens are then exchanged for something available to the individual known as the backup reinforcer. Besides, Dr. Tina has described to us that the advantages of the token economy as well. So we might not be able to use a token economy to meet all of our needs, but it's definitely something to try with our child. Okay, Dr. Tina, once more, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have come to the end of our today's lecture. Once again, it's such a pleasure for having Dr. Tina as our speaker today. Thank you, Ibu.
My pleasure.
Now,
Welcome.
before we officially close this event, let's move a photo session, probably. Dear audience, please make sure you open your camera so we can capture this delightful moment with Dr. Tina. For operator, can you help me to count down?
Yeah.
Sister Lulu, probably give us your best shot.
Yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you can open your camera and show the best expression.
And don't forget to smile.
Yes, smile. Okay, for first slide. 1, 2, 3. Second slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Already. Thank you.
Thank you, Lulu.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our second day of International Visual Course 2021. Let me thank to Dr. Tina for the presentation, everyone who made this meeting possible, and of course, my beloved audience for spending your time for this event. And we will see you tomorrow. Yeah, we wish you stay healthy and have great days. I am Erna Hadianti. Thank you very much for your best attention. Good afternoon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, everyone, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Tomorrow will be 2 lectures, right?
Yeah, you're right.